Good morning, children. Hope you are safe at home. Today, let us do lesson 31 from your English book, which is called Robotics. Do you know the meaning of robotics? Robotics is a part of the study of robots. So, it is a subject in which you will learn how to make and program your robots so that they can work as per your programs and commands. So, it has a little bit of science and a little bit of computers. Today you will learn just what is robotics, and you will also learn if you want to make your own robot, how do you do it? So let's begin reading this. Let's read the first paragraph. A robot is a complex man-made machine that can perform many of the tasks that human beings do, and some tasks that are too difficult or dangerous for human beings. Robots are built in such a way that they can perform these tasks automatically when they are started or on command. Robots may be operated by remote control. So children, what is a robot? Some of you all must be having it as a toy at home, or you all must have seen it somewhere on the television. A robot is a complex machine. Why complex? Complex machine means it's made up of many parts that work together. And who makes these robots? It is us, human beings, who make these robots. Now, what is the use of these robots? Why do we need them? Robots can work just like human beings. They can do some jobs which are too difficult or dangerous for a human being to do. Now, there are robots which directly start working automatically when switched on. There are some robots who can listen to orders. So if you tell them to do something, they will do it. And then there are some robots which you can operate with a remote control. Just like you operate your cars with your remote control. So whichever button you press, the robot will start working. Now let's read the second paragraph. A robot usually has three things. What are those three things? Let us see. It has a built-in computer program. This program is like the robot's brain. Only a robot cannot think on its own like human beings do. It cannot decide whether to do something, whether something is good or bad on its own. It can learn and do only what the computer program makes it possible for the robot to learn and do. A robot does not have moods and feelings like human beings do. Like other machines, a robot can do boring tasks again and again and again without getting bored. It can work in dangerous places where human beings cannot go or live. So children, a robot normally has three things. It has a built-in computer program. So a computer program that is already put into it. And this computer program is actually the robot's brain, because a robot is not a human being, so it cannot do anything. It's a non-living thing. But this computer program, which is the robot's brain, helps the robot to do its work. So it does whatever the program tells it to do. But like us human beings, the robot's brain cannot decide whether a thing is wrong or right. So it does whatever the program tells it to do. Also, a robot does not have any feelings. It cannot be happy, sad, tired, jealous, angry. It is just a machine that keeps on doing work. And sometimes it is programmed for only one type of work. But it can keep doing the same work again and again without stopping or getting bored of that work. And these robots can also work in dangerous places where human beings cannot go. Now let's read the third paragraph. A robot has mechanical parts or a body. These parts enable the robot to move or perform certain actions in certain ways. These parts may have pipes, tubes, cylinders, wheels, and gears joined in a particular way. There may be devices that scoop up or hold things, blow, suck, sweep, etc. These parts are designed to suit the purpose for which the robot is built. So children, a robot has a mechanical part that we call body, and these parts are attached to each other because this is how we will make the robot. There may be different parts, like there can be pipes or tubes or cylinders and gears so that they can move, and all these parts are joined together and help the robot work. Depending on the type of work that the robot does, it may have some additional parts also in its body. Like supposing you have a robot to clean the house. So then you may have a broom attached to the robot, a vacuum attached to the robot to pull out the dirt. Different kinds of jobs will have different things attached to the robot. A robot also has sensors or devices that inform it about its surroundings. These sensors are like the robot's eyes, ears, nose, skin, etc. Again, these devices are designed and fitted to the robot by experts who design and build the robot. So, apart from the brain and the body, the robot also can sense things, just like we can sense. But we have parts like skin, ears, eyes, nose, which are called sense organs. But the robot has a sensor as a part of its body. And who puts the sensor in the robot? The programmer who is writing the program for that robot. He fits the sensor, and the sensor depends on what type of work the robot is supposed to do. Some robots are designed to look like human beings or other living things, or they may be given other suitable shapes. It requires a lot of hard work, skill and imagination to design and build robots. Would you like to design or build a real robot when you grow up? For that, you will have to study the relevant subjects well and also develop a good imagination. So children, it's not very easy to build a robot. You have to study hard to learn the science and the programs that are required for the robot to work. You also need a lot of imagination to design how your robot should look. Some robots are made to look exactly like human beings so that they look real. Would you like to design or build a robot when you grow up? I hope you do. But to do that, you have to broaden your imagination. You have to be very creative. You have to think a lot. And you have to study the important subjects like science, computers, robotics, all these things that are required to build a robot. Now let us design your own robot. Use the following points and make a design for your own robot. So let's see the points. First is your purpose. Purpose means your reason. What are you building the robot for? What work will it do when it is ready? So first thing is you have to think what kind of robot you want to build and what use will be that robot for. Like if you want a robot to clean up your mess, you have to think to build it in that lines. Next, materials. What are materials? The things you require. What materials will you use to build the robot? It could be metal, plastic, glass, etc. Third point, size and shape. Size means how big or small will the robot be? And shape, what shape would be most suitable? What shape would your robot work best in? Parts. What parts will the robot need to move or do its work? Is it necessary to have bending, curling or stretching parts? So depending on the type of work you want the robot to do, we have to think about the parts required. Sensors. We all studied that robots have sensors. So what sensors will the robot need? And where will you fit the sensors? Energy. Will your robot work on electricity or do you need batteries or solar cells, etc.? And if you're attaching batteries or solar cells, where will they be fitted? How to operate the robot? Do you need buttons or a remote control or both? Then safeguards. How will you protect your robot? So what safeguards will the robot need to protect its parts? So these are all the points that are needed to build your own robot. Now children, you have to draw a picture of the robot that you have designed, just like what is shown to you. You have to label your picture and describe in short what your robot can do. You can also choose a suitable name for your robot. So this children, you will do it at home. But remember, before you start doing it, you have to use all your imagination. Think about first what your robot has to do, what kind of work. Then think about how you want it to look. So the shape and size. Then the parts and the sensors. And then how will you give it energy? And then draw a lovely robot, color it. Then you can label the picture, label the parts of the robot, and then give your robot a beautiful name. Do this as your homework. That was all for today, children. Thank you.